史上最高のヒットメーカー、マックス・マーティン、ご存知でしょうか？日本だと知っている方は少ないかもしれません。でも、この方々ならどうでしょうか？知っている曲はありましたか？少なくとも名前だけは聞いたことがあるのでは？今挙げた曲はマックス・マーティンとそのチームによって作られています。彼は2025年10月現在までにビルボード HOT100 において27曲1位を取っています。はい、聞き間違いではないです。27曲です。そんなヒットソングを文字通り量産してきたマックス・マーティンが2016年に彼が今までどのようにして曲を作ってきたのかのインタビューに答えています。その中から彼の作曲に関する秘密を6選、さらにボーナスでもう2個お伝えしたいと思います。ちなみに僕がマックス・マーティンで一番最初に聴いた曲はバックストリートボーイズの I Want It That Way という曲でした。中学の英語の授業で歌った記憶があります。皆さんは何だったでしょうか？知ってる方はぜひコメントで教えてください。それでは参りましょう。一つ目はアイデアが降りてきたらすぐに記録する。これはブリトニー・スピアーズの Baby One More Time を作った時に起こった出来事です。
I was going to bed and I was actually falling asleep.And this melody of the chorus sort of started, coming, and you lay there, but I was really tired, and I always back then I kept like a dictaphone, with a cassette tape, and I was lying there trying to motivate myself to get out of bed and record this thing because I had a feeling it was good. I was like, this is pretty good, but I was really tired, so I was lying there.And then I was like, you know what? I'll get out of bed. And I grabbed the thing, and I recorded it, and then I went back to bed, and then I came up with like a different variation, and I had to get up again and recorded it, and I'm really happy, obviously, that because you think that you're gonna wake up the next day and remember it, but you never do.
二つ目は、その曲だと一瞬でわかる特徴をつける。
You and Dennis Pop talked about this, that the song should be, you should be able to recognize after 1 or 2 seconds.
Right. No, he had this philosophy of, because he came from the DJ world to, and to keep people on the floor when you changed the song, you had to, it couldn't be like, what's this? It had to be something, he liked playing songs where they knew exactly what it was.Just from the very start, So that came from that. So it needed to be some kind of ID thing in the beginning.
So people on the dance floor doesn't have to hesitate. I know this song.
Exactly. So they stay.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Keep them on the floor.
私の楽曲 Tell Me It's a Lie は曲の一番最初にサビメロディーを持ってきて、この2つ目のポイントを活用しようと自分なりの努力をしました。概要欄のリンクからぜひチェックしてみてください。3つ目はインスピレーションを大事にすること。
Car mechanic wants to understand how an engine works. You sort of open the hood and look around and take things apart. And you seem to treat pop songs the same way.
Well, most of these theories, I mean, I've read things.About myself, actually, where they, there's all these things about, it's all, math and it's a formula and all that stuff, and that's not really true because I think what we have is like a toolbox of problem-solving formulas. So once you start writing a song, if you write it to a track, or if it's not like you sit down and like, okay.Let's use 3B from, some thing, that's not what it is at all. I believe it has to come from some kind of, just inspiration in the beginning. But so what it is, you write this thing, it's like, oh, this is so good. And then it's like, okay, now what do I do? You're like stuck. So that's when you can start using these tricks or whatever, the tools to, okay,You have a really busy verse, maybe the pre should be a little less busy so you don't, get all confused with all the words and all that stuff.
And when you say busy, you mean like sort of
like let's say you have like a super rhythmic verse, and then I believe it's going to be hard to find in any of the songs that I've been part of. You'll find a really super busy pre-chorus after that. you know. It's all about balance to me, like like everything else, I guess, you know. So that's where these tools and these sort of math things, I guess, you know, if you used one note a lot in the verse, you might not want to use it in the pre, or the other way around. So it doesn't become too repetitive or boring, or to keep it interesting, you know.
Yeah.
But a song never starts with that. With like, you know, like I said.
And so how does a song start? What do you mean? Maybe it was a too big question right now, but...
No, but I mean, it's different. I mean, it's actually changed through the years. Because I used to write much more on my own before. I always started with a melody, like I talked about the Hit Me Baby One More Time.
4つ目はやりすぎず簡潔にする。
Which you too are an example of, I think. When you have sort of a melody that's really sort of sweet and catchy,
Right.
you can do totally different things in the productions and the arrangement.
Exactly.
Really try new things.
Yeah, because a lot of times you overwrite, you know. There's only so much information you can sort of, I mean, at least for me, I mean, some people might be able to do it more, but for me, it's hard to, if it's more than 3 different parts, maybe 4, but it needs to be, if you, because Prince usually wrote like, da na na na, doodly doo, you know, and then he used that, the chorus, and he was like, yeah, it's great, let's do it, you know, let's use it a lot.
Yeah.
But then obviously you need things to keep it interesting.
Yeah.
That's why you put that pre-chorus there, that you go somewhere with the chords and, you know, to sort of, and then you go back to the thing. And it's like a new thing again, you know? Yeah, less is more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. To keep it simple. But if you can, the thing is that the trick is to write something simple that's still interesting. And it's hard to do that, and also at the same time be unique and all of that, because there are only so many notes, you know. So we have to take every trick we can to fool ourselves to get there.
5つ目は才能ある歌手にはシンプルに歌ってもらう。
How exactly do you work with singers?
But I believe that to me the greatest thing is when someone who's an amazing singer sings something really simple, you know. Because you can tell. It's not like it's because a lot of things wants to show off. She's not really one of them, but there's a bunch of them out there who wants every song, you know, do what they've been practicing all these years. So I get that, you know. But to me, the most beautiful thing is when someone who has an amazing voice, you know, like when Chet Baker plays like a nice little melody on his trumpet. You know, you can tell the guy knows what to do. You know, he knows what he's doing. And I think that's my job, or our job when we work with these people, is to kind of make them believe that that's enough. Don't worry about it. Everyone knows you're amazing. And you, by the way, have 5 albums that's, you know, prove that. And 10 world tours and all that stuff. Don't worry about it. You know, everyone knows. It's out there. So that's the challenge, to really make them feel secure that it's okay to just sing and concentrate on, you know, hopefully getting great lyrics and tell the story. It's enough.
6つ目、メロディーと歌詞はお互いに影響し合う。
The melody is more important than the sort of...
Well, I believe that the sound of a melody is crucial. I think a great melody can be ruined by a bad sounding lyric.
Yeah.
I believe that. And the other way around. I think a mediocre melody can be incredibly hooky or catchy with the right words, you know, or the right, well, in the best of worlds, it's all there. You know, a lyric that means something, and a melody that's great, and a lyric that sounds great, you know.
はい、ここからはボーナスです。ボーナス1、第三者に聞かせてみる。
But the demo of it is pretty horrible and badly done in every way. But there was this the guy who started Jive Records, Clive Calder, was in Sweden to you know, listen to some new stuff, and he asked me after I did my presentation with the songs that I thought was good, you know, and then he asked me, don't you have anything else, like something hidden, you know, something that you don't want to play? And I was like, well, yeah, I have this one, and I played it, and kind of like went, you know, because I sing and it's out of tune and it's horrible, and he was like, yes, that's the one. So, and I was like, all right, I'll try it. But that's interesting. Sometimes you don't know. You think it's crap, but it could be good.
そして最後です。ボーナスには良い曲を作ることに集中する。
To me, it's always the song is always in focus, you know. And I worry about the other stuff later. It usually, if you have a great song and a great production or whatever, if you have that song, things they're usually okay.
いかがだったでしょうか。作曲をされる方は少しでも何かのヒントになれば幸いです。作曲をされない方も少しでも皆さんのエンタメになればと思います。このチャンネルではこういった音楽に関するコンテンツを発信しています。次のコンテンツも見逃さないように。でも作曲ってそもそもどうやるのって疑問に思っている方は次はこちらの動画をご覧ください。それでは See you next time!